Hey, what's up, YouTube? Good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing? If you're doing fine, that's great. If you're not doing fine, I hope that the rest of your day will get better. Now, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. And, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit that like button and make sure that you hit that notification bell so you can get my videos on time. And make sure that you share my videos. Now, if anybody is confused as to what's going on with the Eric Holder case, I'm gonna explain a few things in this video to y'all. Now, yesterday during the pretrial conference, the attorney for Eric Holder filed a motion to have the two attempted murder charges dismissed under the kill zone theory. Now, this doesn't mean that if these two charges are dismissed, that he will likely be getting out of jail. Though you have to ask yourself, why would the defense only put in a motion to dismiss those specific two charges and not the other four? It would be logical to put in a motion to dismiss all of the charges, though many times there's a strategy to beating cases in the court of law, and I believe that the defense may have a good strategy going into trial, and they're not trying to expose their hand as to what they intend to do. Now, let's examine this kill zone theory. With this kill zone theory that the prosecutor believes Eric Holder falls up under, there are 6 factors that must be proven, and this is one of the main factors why the defense put in the motion to dismiss. Now, 1, there is a target. 2, the type of weapon used. 3, distance between the shooter and target. 4, proximity to other victims to target. 5, whether victims are in an enclosed area. 6, whether the target was moving in the attack. Now, I could tell y'all that it will be hard to prove the type of weapon used unless they have fingerprints on the gun, and even if there was actually a gun, used by Eric Holder, because you can't tell on this video who it is. And look, check this out. Let me tell y'all this here. It's very hard to retrieve prints off of guns. I know this for a fact because when I was in the feds and I was fighting weapons charge, they had a hard time retrieving my prints off of a weapon that was sent to Washington, D.C. And I, for a fact, touched the gun many times because I carried the gun every day. And they couldn't get my fingerprints, and it's hard. I've seen many cases. So I'm not saying that they retrieved fingerprints from Eric Holder, or if they didn't, I'm just saying that it's hard to, Now, they can definitely prove there was a target, which we all know was Nipsey, although the other 2 that was allegedly hit can't be proven as intentional targets, which is why the attempted murder charges will probably be dismissed. They also can prove the distance between the shooter and target and the space, meaning that it was definitely enclosed where Nipsey couldn't escape immediately. You can see on the footage they gave us that Nipsey could not move. He could not immediately escape. He couldn't go nowhere. So it was definitely enclosed. The other 2 victims were in an enclosed area. They could have escaped, as Kerry's nephew actually did, and as well as Rempal, Now, was the target moving in the attack? Only after he was struck by a bullet. So the answer would be yes, though he wasn't mobile, as in being able to run and shield himself, and I believe they mean moving as in making threatening moves, like he was going for a weapon or he was reaching, or in a threatening manner to where he actually made someone harm him. And in my opinion, I'm going to say no, because it was a sneak attack, and therefore he had no knowledge what was about to happen. So no, he wouldn't have made any type of move. So people, check it out. We have a few elements that could possibly get the 2 attempted murder charges dismissed. But as for the first degree, I truly believe that it would definitely stick. In fact, I know that first degree murder charge, it's gonna stick, peoples. And here's another thing to look at if you're not familiar with how the legal system operates. Eric Holder is charged with 2 attempted murder charges as well as 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon charge. Now, with my experience in dealing with the court system, I would definitely say that would be double jeopardy in itself, and the prosecution would certainly be messing up to try him in trial for both attempted murder and assault with deadly weapon charges, because it's actually for the same 2 people. You can't have an attempted murder with the weapon and a person or persons not be assaulted. It's not possible. That's why it's called attempted murder, because some type of weapon was actually used. The attempted murder charge shows that the 2 were actually assaulted with a weapon. So there's really no reason to charge Eric with the 2 assault with a deadly weapon charge. Although the assault with deadly weapon will remain, because without those charges, there's no felon in possession of a firearm charge. And if there's no felon in possession of a firearm charge, then there's no first degree murder charge. And this is one of the main reasons I believe that the judge will grant the motion and those 2 attempted murder charges will be dismissed, And like I mentioned in my previous videos, it's the defense that's actually having the trial prolonged. They're the ones that keep continuing it, because they're getting their case together for when they do go to trial. And this is normal. This is not abnormal. This is what goes on every day in the court system. Court dates are continued and prolonged. I haven't seen no one that has actually went to trial on time, ever. Ever, never. If it's not the defense, then it's the prosecution that's prolonging. So it's it's normal, And I already figured this, because it takes time to prepare an excellent defense in complex murder trials. If you're familiar with any type of murder trials and you actually attended them and seen what goes on, what happens inside of murder trials, you will know that it's not a 3, 4, 5, 6 month type of ordeal. It takes a minute, and the DA, he wants this, he's ready. The DA, Mr. McKinney, is ready to proceed forth with this trial, as he exclaims, and this trial may get underway as early as the beginning of next year. Who knows? Hopefully it does. He feels that he has a solid case against Eric Holder, though we'll have to see how everything actually plays out when that time comes. We will probably hear before or on the next court date, regarding this motion, about whether it's going to be granted or denied. The state has at least 60 days to answer and contest this motion. And I know that the state for a fact will contest this motion and attempt to have it denied. Anyways, a lot of people believe that Eric isn't the shooter because you can't see him clearly on the camera footage, which I said this months ago in videos that I made, and you can't tell if the person actually has a gun or not. But what we have to remember, people, and keep in mind, is that there is allegedly other footage, and the LAPD isn't obligated to show us any evidence or footage if they don't want. And up to now, they haven't. The state, I believe, is basing their case off of the footage in the Master Burger. And I spoke about that with the one detective that was in the Master Burger that said only the Master Burger was relevant to him. You should go check that out. I gave you the names of those detectives. And the testimony of the alleged getaway driver, whom nobody knows if she even exists, and probably crystal clear footage of the actual shooting that the public would never ever see, if that actually exists. Like I said, we'll have to wait patiently and see when that time comes. Hopefully, people, I cleared up and clarified a few things in this update for y'all. I do truly believe that whether this was allegedly Eric Holder, that committed this crime, and not a cover-up nor a scapegoat, that he still will be found guilty of first-degree murder, or he'll be granted the insanity plea. They're not going to permit him to just walk, because they needed someone to take the fall for this, and this what it ended up. This what it is. So whether or not he was the actual shooter, This is who they have in there, and that's what they gonna go with. And we just have to sit patiently and wait for everything to come out. And you know, in court cases, they have discovery. They have a discovery that's containing all the evidence, you know, and the prosecution has to relinquish. They have to give up all that evidence to the defense attorney so they can properly prepare for the trial in a certain amount of time, you know, in a certain time frame. If they don't, then they violate the rights of Eric Holder. So, you know, we'll see more evidence come out as it gets close to the trial and during the trial, and we just have to be patient. But you know, like I said before, if you're new or if you're not new, make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure you hit that like button and that notification bell so you can definitely get these videos when they drop, people. And make sure that you share my videos so that everybody can see what's going on and what's, you know, they can get these updates on the Nipsey situation. All right, peace.